Okay, hello. So this will be for my empaths who we have talked about how you're sort of walking karma. There's only a few of you, but bear with me as I explain it again because there's some new people and they may not have heard this, but you spent your life mainly being, sorry, I'm trying to walk a lot more, so I'm walking. Spent your life being put in places where things happen. People do things to other people, and you're sent in as sort of a sacrificial lamb. Like, okay, are you going to do this to my empath here? And if they do the same thing, mainly like manipulate, gaslight, all those things. If they do that, then you are quickly removed, and that person's karma comes in. Like, you're the deciding factor. You're the one that calls in the karma. And you have to be removed because in your presence, in your energy, like, you protect them from said karma. So it's pretty much playing out like this. You're put somewhere in some living situation, job situation, friend group, whatever. You are the sacrificial lamb. See if the person does the thing they've been getting away with. If they do it, you are removed. Their karma comes in. You're moved to the next place that you needed. You're sent in as a sacrificial lamb. See if they do the thing to you. If they do, you're removed. The karma comes in, and over and over and over. If you look back over your life, that has happened most of your life. And probably in the past, it happened, every few years. But since, I'd say, 2020, it's probably ramped up a bit. And you've been moved around quite a bit, whether that's job to job, home to home, friend group to friend group, whatever it is. Like, you will have seen that it's sped up. Okay, so this is for that group, that group of people. I was getting that while that is part of your purpose, that's why you're here. Like, part of your job is walking karma. You call karma into people. There's also a lesson in it for you of particularly the last 2-3 years. Oh, it's going to storm again. It's been storming a lot. You run into, like, first of all, you went through a phase where you kept running into the same kind of person, right? Usually narcissists, empaths attract, lying, gaslighting narcissists. And then you thought you'd get smart and, like, I'm trying to draw in no more narcissists. I want decent people now. And so you attempted that, but what you're finding is you will meet people, and seemingly their energy feels fine, right? You don't get red flags or a bad feeling. Energy feels fine, and they're kind, and you may have things in common, but you'll notice a little while in, a week or two in, like, you've gotten to know everything about this person because obviously you're an empath and they open up to you. They haven't really even asked anything about you. So you get to this place where you're like, why does this keep happening? Like, I meet somebody, I think we're getting along, and then we get to this place where it's like, you don't even see me. You don't even hear me. You just want my energy. You just want me around. Do you know what I mean? And they're not intentionally doing anything to you. The lesson is for you. Like, you have to find the balance in these connections. I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I know I sound all out of breath, but I'm walking. I'm trying to walk before it storms again. It's been storming a lot lately. I'm also going to connect. I've got a bunch of random voice notes that didn't really fit anywhere with stuff that came through, so I'll connect all those. Before I do that, let's talk, as always, energy. Ooh, it got really dark. No, I guess I'm not finished with that. So there is a lesson in that with you, because there will be, and I was put through this, so I know. You have to find the moment where that shift happens in a connection. You meet somebody, you get along, and this is like friends, coworkers, whatever. You meet somebody, you get along, you're like, oh great, somebody that's like kind of on my frequency. There is a moment when, if you pay attention, you feel the shift happening. They're taking more energy than they're giving, right? They're not necessarily taking from you, but they are, because you're an empath. Your energy is everything. So when it's suddenly like every conversation gets pulled back to what they think, what they want, what they're going through, And you get to, like I said, you get to this place where you're like, okay, so we've been friends for 2 weeks. I know everything about this person. They told me everything because I'm an empath. They open up. What do they know about me? Nothing. They didn't ask. You know what I mean? The conversation never really shifted to, what are your thoughts? What are your experiences? What, you know what I mean? And there is a moment when if you really pay attention, there is a moment when you notice that shifting. But I have always been like, I would scold myself, like, well, they are telling me all these deep things. They must need someone to talk to. Don't be selfish. So, but the lesson is that to learn when you start feeling that shift in balance happen, to fix that. Don't let it get so far out of hand that, like, once again, who the hell is here for me? It just got really dark out, so I am heading back home before the storm comes in, because it looks like it's rolling in very, very quickly. Okay, so the next thing has to be about the feminine empaths. That does not mean female, it's feminine empaths. There are males who are in a feminine energy, which just means you're in the caretaker. You feel people's pain and joy, and like, you are not an alpha male. You are not a red pill bro, okay? You're led by the feminine energy. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Feminine empaths. They're talking about how an empath's brain is wired differently. And this goes back to, again, the people in this first wave are advanced souls. You're more advanced than the regular souls who are down here. Because they're talking about how, again, you kind of have always sort of felt alone. You keep trying to connect with people, and somehow it just doesn't, the connection, it just doesn't quite connect. Do you know what I mean? Because you are spiritually, your soul is advanced. Your brain is wired for deep emotional connections, where these less advanced souls aren't there yet. They're not ready yet. You sort of instinctively, again, you kind of absorb other people's feelings, and that is because of your sophisticated soul. You've been through all the things these other souls are here to learn. You've got all this already. And if you don't recall that, if you don't remember that feels like a heavy burden. It feels like there's something wrong with you. Like, why can't I can't connect with people. I see all these people connecting, and I just can't. But it's because you're advanced. You understand human behavior. You understand hidden emotions. You feel hidden emotions, where most social interactions rely on surface level stuff, performance, right? That's why social media has taken off the way it has. People fall for the surface level stuff, where you are prone, you've advanced past that, so you're looking for actual emotional connection, and these souls aren't there yet. They're not ready yet. So the empaths, particularly the feminine empaths, they struggle with this superficial garbage that the other souls are perfectly fine with, because you crave and you offer deep connection. And these less advanced souls, that leaves them feeling kind of overwhelmed. And really, most of them feel exposed, because while they're playing the superficial, on the surface game, and you see past that, that makes them feel like you're exposing them, and you're not. You just see what you see. You can't help that. They're saying your empathy is labor. It's work. And it is physiologically exhausting. It is exhausting to have to continuously try to interact with people who can't get there. They can't get where you are. They're incapable of it. Their souls have not been through all the lifetimes and all the advancement that you have. And that's exhausting, because you keep thinking, well, every connection, you keep thinking, maybe this is the one, maybe this is the one. And they're not where you are. And so when you continuously keep interacting with people without achieving that depth you're looking for, it leaves you feeling depleted, right? And it makes you start thinking it's me, it must be me, and that kind of leads to social withdrawal, you know what I mean, for survival, because you can't help seeing and knowing what you know. You can't help that. You can't make the choice to say, okay, I'm just going to dumb myself down so I'll fit in better. I mean, we've tried that, right? And now you're at this point and you're like, okay, none of these people get me. I cannot connect with them. And you just kind of withdraw for survival. Empaths are a natural space holder for others. So they usually neglect their own emotional needs, and that is why you're now being pushed to do that withdrawing process, because now you need to hold space for yourself as you're going through this whole ascension process. I'm talking about like the imbalance, the lifetime of imbalance is now catching up, where you have felt unseen by the very people that you support. Again, they're showing it like this is all divinely orchestrated. It was supposed to happen this way. You were supposed to get to this point where you got exhausted. I keep trying and I keep trying and I keep trying and I keep trying. Now I just I can't take it anymore. I'm going to kind of back away, because you had to back away and spend time with yourself so you could go through this process. One of the things that should come from this, they're saying, is they want you to spend this time going within, so you move away from unhealed empaths. We tend to feel the shame of being, I guess I'm too much, I guess I'm too sensitive, and they want you to shift from that to realizing that your depth and your ability to see and feel things, it's a gift. It's a gift. It is not a curse. It's supposed to help guide you through this. But most of our lives, because we kept trying to connect and we couldn't, we dumbed ourselves down. We dimmed our light. And they're saying that this is all supposed to help you stop doing that, because that light and the knowledge that you have is exactly why you're here. They want you to learn to provide yourself the same compassion that you have been giving to everybody else. And all of the things you've been through will help get you to the place where you're going to choose to only share your energy, share your depth and your abilities with people who are open to it, people who are willing and consistent to meet you at that level. They're showing me this process, and I know I've been there, and I still go through it, where you get out in the world and you're trying to connect and you're trying to be like everybody else and whatever, but things keep happening, so you kind of isolate yourself. They're showing it like a hollow isolation, and shifting that into chosen, intentional solitude. Does that make sense? Rather than just okay, all this crap happened, I'm gonna go hide in this corner to protect myself, to choosing okay, I'm out in society or whatever, I feel overwhelmed, time for me to take a little space for myself. Do you know what I'm saying? They want you to shift from the running away scared to the intentional, oh, I need time to myself to go recharge. And making that shift will make you more open to authentic connections. Instead of going from I'm so desperately trying to connect, I'll just kind of try everybody. So then when you make that shift, you select who you're going to attempt to connect with. Does that make sense? It's kind of like dating, how when I always say when we're young, we'll just date people because they're hot, and then as we get older, we're oh wait, I'm going to be a little more selective. Doesn't matter if they're hot, they also have to have this characteristic, or they have to have morals, or they have to have, it's the shift from trying to connect with everyone, to figuring out, okay, who am I supposed to? Who could potentially be an actual connection? That shift is happening. Okay, so again, this year we've had wave after wave after wave after wave. Right now, the energy we're standing in, we had a special new moon, followed by a special full moon, followed by the Lion's Gate, with eclipse energy right smack in the middle of the Lion's Gate energy, right? So I'm specifically talking about that when we were coming out of, sorry, it's storming here. We were coming out of, oh, P.S., there's been a lot of storms. Have you seen that? A lot of stuff getting cleaned out. Powerful, powerful energy. Use it. So we were in the full moon energy, right into the Lion's Gate, right into the eclipse energy. And that creates a portal, the Lion's Gate with the eclipse. Okay, so for me specifically, that energy came in and affected me physically. Like my third eye felt heavy, I was a little dizzy, a little queasy, had a headache. I don't know how to explain that. It wasn't like a headache that I normally get, just my head just didn't feel comfortable. I don't know how else to explain it. If you know, you know. So through my meditations, talking to my guides, they said that was because this portal brought in energy that would specifically hit your crown, your third eye, and your solar plexus to clear things out, because you're going to need to be cleared out, obviously, so you can have your crown chakra open to receive, your third eye open to see, and your solar plexus to get rid of like the blockages and the worry about, do I really have intuition? Can I really work with energy? All those doubts and those kind of things. And again, we're in a very, very strong feminine energy. They are clearing out the divine feminine energy, because that is what's coming. The patriarchy is dying. I know people are sick of hearing it, but I can't help it. I don't create the universe and what's going on. And you don't have to believe me. Do your own research. Please, always do your own research. So the feminine energy is rising, and so a lot of the feminine energies, which does not just mean women, anybody who stands mostly in their feminine energy, the divine feminine energy, everything's being cleared out, being purged. It's not comfortable. It's not fun. I get that. But it's all happening the way it needs to, so you can process the stuff you need to process and learn the lessons while you do it, which is what makes it so hard, because you're clearing out all this energy, divine feminines, you're clearing out all this energy, and at the same time you got to learn to not take it out on other people. It's hard. It's freaking hard. So this energy, this portal, the energy that came in with this portal, is meant to kind of trigger stored trauma that you have, so you can release all of that and help rewrite the nervous system so your body can adapt better to the ascension, the fifth dimension we're going into, the new earth we're going into. So again, these energies will affect you energetically, emotionally, physically. Now, obviously, if you feel it's so bad you need to see a doctor, see a doctor. Don't take my word over a doctor's. I'm just saying it will affect you energetically, emotionally, and physically. You may have like crown chakra and third eye situations where you feel kind of heavy or like tingling, or like I said, dizziness, a kind of mellow aching I had, like a almost, I don't know how to say, almost like a drugged state, like a hazy kind, like I feel like I'm in a haze kind of thing. Your vision and your energy levels will be affected. You could have like a little bit of blurry vision, or just feelings of being tired all the time. I feel tired all the time. Solar plexus, again, it'll affect your solar plexus, so you could have, like I said, a little bit of nausea, bloating. I had a friend the other day talk about just for one day she was bloated so much she felt like she was pregnant again. Female bodies, which are carrying feminine energy, work differently. They operate differently. So when you're processing things, it'll affect you the way things affect the female body. Do you know what I mean? It's all normal. But again, if you feel you need to see a doctor, see a doctor. But I'm telling you, if you're feeling these things, it's most likely this energy. Okay, I apologize. I'm outside. We've been having storms for days, and there's a million frogs and whatnot outside. So that's probably what you hear. Okay, I have to say, I was hearing All Eyes on Me. I think, is that Tupac? I think it's an old Tupac song, All Eyes on Me. So we're going back to messages about that. Empaths have a lot of projections happening and people watching what they're doing, and because your light and your energy is a lot brighter and stronger and people are focused. But again, it's all these eyes, all this projection, all this trying to drag you in drama and push your buttons or whatever. It's all because they feel inadequate and jealous, because consciously or subconsciously they can tell, like, you're advanced, you're rising, your vibration is higher, your light is brighter, your energy is stronger. And the things that will happen with that, as with everything, it's all divinely orchestrated, right? So that you'll release negative connections. Strong emphasis on recognizing when a connection, whether that's, romantic, professional, friendship, family, whatever, recognizing when that has kind of reached its end. There's nothing else I can do. I've tried every way I can try. You know what I mean? Have your focus on it's time, letting go of this baggage, these connections when they're at this point, you have tried every angle there is, you know what I mean? And you're going to get to this place, if you haven't already, very soon, where you realize you have to let go of these connections just in order to move forward, because they didn't work before, and now you're vibrating even higher, so they certainly can't vibe with you now. But again, I'm getting obsessively watching or stalking. Actually, I'm getting stalking. But it's not a scary stalking. It's not like I said, they're not hiding in your bedroom when you get home or whatever. It's, the way people do things now, social media. I'm hearing fake accounts, using fake accounts. That's been happening to me for over a decade. People create fake accounts just to watch, and that's fine. Whatever. But again, it's driven by envy, because of your high vibe energy, and because you are magnetic. I'm getting you're magnetic, because when you are vibrating higher, that energy is magnetic. And these are people who still seek external validation, so they want to be magnetic, and you just naturally are. And that makes them jealous. I know this is all very repetitive. Bear with me. I'm just going through what they tell me. Core message is you're divinely protected. But to know that there are going to be attempts by other people to trigger you, to judge you, to sabotage you. But they're all failing. They're all backfiring, because you are vibing higher. When a low vibrational person tries to disrupt a high vibrational person, you're not on the same level. They can't even reach you. We're not even in the same dimension. Do you know what I mean? Sorry about the noise. But again, they're meant to try to project towards you, and you're meant to be at a higher vibration where it can't really touch you, because then their attempts expose them. Have you ever tried to pick a fight with somebody who just totally ignores you? It exposes that you're an idiot. And that's what this is. But you're going to remain focused, and you're going to keep evolving, and these last few, I'd say maybe the rest of this year, these last few things you have to get through at this tail end of your ascension process, they're going to lead to healing all the things that like I was saying, you had to recognize your blockages. You had to recognize the recurring patterns that happen and why they happen, and you're going to figure that out. And then once those are gone, oh my gosh, I can't tell you what you're about to do. Like, because your gifts have gotten stronger, your energy's gotten stronger, you're figuring out what blockages you had and why certain things, you couldn't call certain things in. Once those blockages are gone, you can literally create any life you want. And this is, I have to talk about this. This is why so many people are born with gifts and they don't find out until later in life. If you were a teenager and knew you had the gifts you had, you would have done some damage. Let's face it. When I was a teenager, I got pissed off very easily. So if I was a teenager and I knew I could call in karma on people, it would have been everybody. I'd have done damage to everybody. So it had to be when you had discernment. It had to be when you weren't like, oh, I've got all this power. I can destroy random people because they look at me wrong. Do you know what I mean? This could only happen when you had the discernment to know, like, okay, this person pissed me off, but not so much that I'm going to, like, destroy their entire life.